Okay, so are you ready to dive into something kind of mind-blowing today?
I am definitely ready.
All right, perfect, because we're talking about generative AI,
Mhm.
and you've probably heard that term, but what does it even mean?
Yeah, it's one of those buzzwords everyone's using these days.
Right, exactly. So basically, imagine a computer that could actually, create things.
It doesn't, follow
Yeah,
instruction
no, like it can create stories or artwork or even music.
like all on its own.
Yeah, that's generative AI in a nutshell. So we're going to break it down today on Science Research Explained. So let's start with the basics. How does this magic actually work?
Well, it all begins with what's called a model.
Okay, a model.
You can think of it like a super smart computer program that learns from massive amounts of data.
So it's like feeding the model mountains of information, like text, images,
Yeah.
anything you can imagine.
Exactly. It analyzes all that information, kind of like how you learn grammar rules by
Yeah.
reading a ton of books.
Oh, so the model is basically going to school, but instead of textbooks, it's absorbing information from the entire internet.
Pretty much, yeah. It figures out all the patterns and relationships hidden within the data.
So then what happens once it's learned all these patterns?
That's when the real fun begins, because once the model is trained, it can use all that knowledge to create something entirely new.
Whoa, okay, so for example, how would that work with like a text-to-image model?
Oh, that's a great example. So let's say you type in a fluffy corgi wearing a red bow tie and a purple party hat.
Okay, very specific.
Right. And then the model would generate a completely unique image based on what it's learned about corgis, bow ties, and party hats.
Hold on, so it's not just copying and pasting pictures from the internet. It's actually understanding what those things look like
Yeah.
and creating something original.
Exactly. That's one of the most fascinating things about generative AI. It's not just mimicking, it's creating.
So it's like having an AI artist at your beck and call, ready to bring your wildest ideas to life.
I like that analogy.
Okay, that makes sense for images, but I've also heard about this ChatGPT thing. Is that a type of generative AI too?
It is, but instead of images, ChatGPT works with text. You can imagine it kind of like a super-powered autocomplete.
Okay, autocomplete.
Yeah, based on all the text that's been trained on, it predicts what words should come next
So it's like having a writing partner that can help you overcome writer's block.
and help you explore all sorts of creative possibilities.
That's really cool. So it seems like there are all these different types of models, each with their own unique talent for either text, images, or even music, right?
Absolutely, and that's what makes generative AI so powerful and exciting.
It's like having a whole team of AI specialists, each ready to help you create anything you can imagine. Okay, so this is already blowing my mind, and we're just getting started, but let's bring it back down to earth for a sec. How is this technology going to actually affect everyday people? Like, why should our listeners care about generative AI?
That's the key question here. And what's fascinating is that generative AI isn't just some far-off sci-fi concept.
Oh, really?
It's already changing the world around us, and it's going to have a huge impact on all of our lives.
You mean like from the way we learn to how we create and play?
Exactly. Think about it. Your future textbooks might be interactive and powered by AI. You might design your own video game character.
Whoa, okay, that's both amazing and a little bit scary. What are some of the potential benefits, the pros of generative AI?
Okay, well, for starters, one of the biggest potential benefits is its ability to unlock creativity and innovation like never before.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more.
Just imagine having tools that can help you brainstorm ideas, explore different possibilities, and bring your wildest imaginations to life.
So it's like having a super-powered brainstorming partner.
Or an endless well of inspiration.
Yeah, and this applies to everyone, right? Not just artists and musicians.
Exactly. Writers could use it to experiment with different storylines or writing styles. Scientists could test out new hypotheses.
And entrepreneurs could come up with amazing business ideas.
I love it.
So it's like a creativity booster for everyone, regardless of what you're passionate about.
Absolutely.
But besides the creativity aspect, are there also some more practical benefits to this whole AI revolution?
Oh yeah, tons. Generative AI can help us become way more efficient and productive, freeing up time and resources for other things.
Like what kind of things?
Well, think about automating tasks like writing reports or summarizing large amounts of information.
Okay, that would be super helpful.
Right. Or we could have AI assistants that help us manage our schedules and stay organized.
So it's not just about making cool stuff. It's about making our lives easier and giving us more time to focus on the things that matter most.
Exactly.
And this increased efficiency can have a huge impact across society.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine doctors having more time to spend with their patients or teachers being able to provide more personalized attention to each student.
Those are some fantastic examples. It really sounds like generative AI could have a truly positive impact on so many aspects of our lives.
I think so.
But we've explored the bright side, so now let's flip the coin and take a look at the potential downsides. What are some of the cons or challenges we need to be aware of?
All right. Well, one of the biggest concerns is the potential for misuse or unintended consequences.
Oh, okay, so because this technology is incredibly powerful,
Right. And like any powerful tool, it can be used for good or bad.
so it's kind of like fire, right? It can keep us warm and cook our food, but it can also be incredibly destructive if not handled responsibly.
That's a great analogy. We need to be very careful about who has access to this technology and how it's being used.
And we also need to be aware of the potential for AI-generated content to be used for malicious purposes, like creating fake news.
Oh, yeah. Or spreading misinformation.
Definitely something to be mindful of. Are there any other potential downsides we should be thinking about?
Well, another challenge is the potential for job displacement as AI becomes more and more sophisticated.
Oh, yeah, that's a valid concern. Something we hear a lot about when discussing AI. Is it really something we should be worried about, though?
I mean, it's definitely a conversation we need to have while some jobs might be automated. It's important to remember that AI will also create new jobs and opportunities.
Ones that we can't even imagine. It's not just about jobs disappearing. It's about a shift in the types of jobs that will be available.
Right.
And we'll need to adapt and develop new skills to thrive in this changing landscape.
Exactly. The key is to embrace lifelong learning and stay curious about this evolving world around us. We need to focus on developing skills that are uniquely human, like creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence.
Skills that AI can't replicate.
Right.
It's a powerful message. It's not about being replaced by AI. It's about learning to work alongside it and using it as a tool to augment our own abilities.
I like that.
That brings us to another important point. Generative AI is still in its early stages of development, so there's still a lot of unknowns and potential challenges to address.
You're kind of navigating uncharted territory here.
So we need to proceed with both excitement and caution.
I agree.
What are some of the specific unknowns or challenges that you see on the horizon?
Well, one area that's still being actively researched is the issue of bias in AI systems. We've talked about the potential for generative AI to be misused or to create harmful content. But there's also the risk that these systems could perpetuate existing societal biases if they're not trained on diverse and inclusive data sets.
So it's like teaching a child, right? If they're only exposed to a limited perspective, they might develop biased or inaccurate views of the world.
That's a great way to put it. We need to make sure that the AI systems we create are trained on a wide range of perspectives and that they reflect the beautiful diversity of human experiences.
That makes perfect sense. Are there any other challenges or unknowns that you think our listeners should be aware of?
Another important consideration is the environmental impact of these powerful AI models. Training them requires a significant amount of computing power, and that can translate to a large carbon footprint.
So while generative AI has the potential to revolutionize many aspects of our lives, we also need to be mindful of its potential impact on the planet.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that balance, harnessing the power of AI, while also ensuring that we're developing it sustainably and responsibly.
That's a great point to end on. It's clear that generative AI is a real game changer, but it's also technology that comes with both incredible opportunities and really important considerations.
It's a brave new world. Yeah, it really feels like we're standing at the edge of like this whole new era.
Yeah, and generative AI is kind of leading the charge.
Right. It's both exciting and a little bit daunting to think about all the possibilities and challenges that are ahead.
But like you said, knowledge is power.
Exactly.
The more we understand about all this, the better equipped we'll be to kind of navigate all these complexities and shape the future.
I agree completely. And that's why we do what we do here on Science Research Explained.
Absolutely.
We believe that everybody should have access to like clear and concise explanations, of all the latest scientific advancements, no matter how complex they might seem at first.
Well said. So we hope this whole deep dive into generative AI has kind of sparked your curiosity and left you thinking about all the implications of this rapidly evolving field.
Yeah, and if you're like hungry for more of these mind-expanding explorations of cutting-edge research, remember to subscribe to Science Research Explained.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of really fascinating topics coming your way, all broken down in a way that's both informative and entertaining.
We try to make it fun.
Exactly so. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing, stay curious, and never stop exploring the wonders of science.
See you next time.